Welcome to XboxCorner, my name is Alex. Today we got a new digital store sale for the Xbox, so we're going to be taking a look at 10 of my favourites, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Let's get started. As always, then I do have a winner to announce for a $10 Xbox Digital Store gift card and one more to give away. To enter, drop a comment down below and the winner they'll be announced in the next deals video. Also, if you are grabbing anything, consider using cornershop.gg for discounted store credit. You'll get 5% off at checkout using code CORNER. Dying Light 2 Stay Human to kick us off, it's 50% off, matching the low. It's a long awaited follow-up and I was mostly impressed, even if at times it can be a bit on the buggy side. Honestly, that was expected. With an open world to explore, a lot can go uncovered, or at least that is until the public get their hands on it. This though is a team known for supporting and constantly updating their releases. The story then, we are a lone traveller looking for a long lost sister. I just enjoy the movement in this one. The parkour is fast and fluid, and the gunplay and melee is always satisfying. Topping it off, then it has a great city to explore. It packs RPG elements, and then it's a decent length as well, with an average main story run taking 24 hours. Kingdom of Amalur Re-Reckoning was a long requested port from fans and I was with them. I loved the game back in the day. Now while it's not a massive update, it does enough, adding a visual overhaul, a resolution bump and most surprisingly then a new expansion. This added in a new storyline, locations and missions and dungeons. You can see the game's age for sure, especially with the behaviour of NPCs and how quiet areas can be, but it's still a fun fantasy action RPG. The story, we died before the game started and now we are raised from the dead. The team behind this one then, it's Todd McFarlane and R.A. Salvatore. 60% off, that is a new low price. If you do find content like this useful, then consider subscribing. It helps a huge amount and we have deals like this video and reviews weekly. Most recently we dropped reviews on SpongeBob SquarePants, The Cosmic Shake and the incredible Hi-Fi Rush, a game I urge you to check out, especially if you have Game Pass, as it was a day one ad. We also had a live stream as well for the opening couple of hours of Dead Space if that is your thing. All of these videos, find them linked in the pinned comment below. Chronos Before the Ashes will be a good option for anyone that likes the idea of a Souls-like but doesn't necessarily want the challenge. Basically, it's much easier than most out there while covering the core mechanics. The spin on this one, however, is when you die, you age. Our quest then is to save our home from evil, but it's really that aging mechanic that is so unique because the older you get, the wiser and more powerful you become. It takes things to some interesting places, this one, and it definitely surprised. The only warning, don't expect the longest of adventures. The average is 8 hours, which is definitely on the short side for the genre. That said though, I do think the discount of 60% off is more than worth it. Elex II, and I bring this one up for two reasons. I did a preview on the channel, find that down below, and I recently revisited Risen, one of their older titles that I loved. While this game is honestly janky and dated in its design, that is kind of half the charm with any Piranha Bytes release. Those are the developers. For me, they are just really good at making unique and large locations. They describe it themselves even as a vintage-styled RPG. The story then, we take on the role of Jax following the events of the first game, where a new threat has emerged. This evil, they are leveraging the dark powers of Elex, and we must get out there now and help the people while simply trying to survive. I just really like the cast and I do think it's worth a look if you like games like Gothic or Risen. It's a new low then, that is 40% off. Way of the Hunter gets a new low of 30% off on this. It's not my sort of game honestly, so I can't add a huge amount, but Luke did cover it here on the channel and was mostly impressed. A Series X and S only title and no last gen at all. It is, well, hunting if the name didn't give that away. His overall opinion seemed to be it's unique because of a huge open world, the fact it's a slow burn and tasks you with actually travelling on foot, and it's also then leaning into realism. He also noted the Jeep that you do unlock controls like a double-decker bus. If it sounds like your thing, then it's definitely the first that I know of in the genre that's built for current gen only, and you can check out our video in the pinned comments. Biomutant is 50% off, a new low price, and I know this one's going to get comments. It was long awaited, and for many, including myself honestly, it disappointed. I reviewed it on the PS5 as well over on PlayStationCorner, so I've linked that video down below because the builds, they are the same. The only difference, however, since that video is we finally got an upgrade and visual boost for the Series X and S. An adventure experience. It puts you on a journey into this world where we have an open world to explore, a huge amount of enemies to take on, and some nice creativity with weapon customization and boss encounters. You can also then side with different factions and use mechs, which is definitely something I always enjoy in a game. I definitely like having choice when it comes to how do I approach. We don't get enough Kung Fu inspired games as well, and that's very much where the melee combat falls. The story, we're investigating a plague, and my main complaint here would be it has got way too many systems and ideas packed in, but none of them seem to be perfected. It's basically needing someone to come in and just tear out all of that filler. Riders Republic is back on sale, then matching the low with 70% off. I personally have a soft spot for extreme sports games such as Steep, so this was a day one buy for me personally. The idea though, it's a massive online playground where you can get together and compete, whether that's going to be for time, racing, or even simply enjoying the location and exploring. Sports-wise, there's going to be multiple. We get a variety of biking options from road to bike. We get snowboarding, skiing as well, and then also wingsuits. I wouldn't say it's as revolutionary as it maybe wanted to be, and I've got a feeling with how quick the price dropped, it didn't do the numbers they were hoping for, but there's still an active online community, and they still throw out updates and events. Our winner of the week then, it's going to Kai, who highlighted Oxenfree for being a great game, and I absolutely agree. I cannot wait for that sequel. Congrats on the win, Kai. Drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, remember to drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. Endling Extinction is Forever matches the low then with 20% off. It's a unique spin on survival gameplay. It's also one that's much easier now than most. The gameplay side-scrolling, but you can change direction on path, so it still gives you that freedom to navigate an open location. The story, the future is grim, and one of your young ones, they've been stolen by a hunter. We are now trying to get them back. Sneak, find food, fight humans, and of course other wildlife, because that wants to kill you as well, and just try to keep your family going. If you do start to fall behind, do know you can lose more children as well. It's a touching story, this one, relatively short as well, around 5 hours, but that feels just right for the content on offer. I'm a big fan though, and I'm looking forward now to seeing what this team does next. Watch Dogs Legion matches the low with 80% off. We've seen this price once before, but I feel like this is a game that gets mixed reviews, and I actually personally really liked it. Just held my attention more than the first two entries, and honestly I'm a sucker for the location, the setting in London. For me, it was just kind of fun to explore, see what I recognised after, 7 years of living there. An open world action game then, it's essentially GTA but with a whole host of gadgets and technology. Throw in then though the fact you can recruit and play as anyone you please, and yeah, I absolutely loved that feature, and so many online opted for the grandma. Story-wise, we've been framed then, so we are clearing our name while taking back London. Hardspace, a Shipbreaker then is not a recommendation. It's my pickup for the week, so maybe you'll want to join me for the ride. And this one was actually mentioned in the comments on a video recently. I'm not sure why, but I thought it only released on PC. Now I've learned there's a Series X and S build, I had to check it out. I have heard about this build, it does struggle at times frame rate wise, even on the X, as there's a whole lot going on visually, but the gameplay loop, I really like the idea of this. You're basically cutting and destroying ships as a scavenger. It looks to be a work sim, but from what I understand, it's now been given this, of course, futuristic spin. After enjoying Power Washer Simulator though recently, I may have just found my new game. It's 33% off then, and that is a new low price. Desperados III to close us out. It's a new low, a 65% off, and I adore this game. A real-time tactics experience. It throws you into the Wild West as John Cooper and company. It's a team of 5, each with unique skills and a whole lot of stealth gameplay ahead of you. It's also incredibly difficult, just as a warning. Thankfully, it does have some options to dial it back a bit if you do fancy it. And yeah, it also then has an option where you can pause the game so you can make a calculated decision instead of reacting instantly. This one just looks incredible, it controls incredibly as well, and if I had to compare it to anything, it would be the legendary Commando series, so yeah, I just think this one is a must-buy for tactics fans out there. And that's the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library? Let me know in the comments below. With that then, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals and lists weekly, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.